Hey everybody, Tyler from PTPioneer.com. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Trainer Academy Personal Training Certification study materials. We're going to find out if it's right for you. We're going to go over the features. We're going to go over their pass guarantee. We're going to go over some pros and cons and the pricing to see if this is the right program for you. So without further ado, let's search Trainer Academy, traineracademy.org. Here we are. Just to let you know, they do have a personal training certification of their own, but we're going to be going over the study materials for other organizations such as the NSCA, ACSM, ACE, ISSA, etc. So on their homepage, you can actually try out any of these programs for free. You could just go here and you could select one of them. I want to do the ACPT, let's say, put in your email, and you can get a trial access to the MVP study system that we're going to be going over today. First, let's go over their exam pass guarantee first. So with their system, they provide an exam pass guarantee, which basically states if you take our system and fail, we will refund you the cost of the program as well as whatever the exam retake fee is for your organization. For the CSCS with NSCA, it could be as high as $475. I think that's a pretty cool thing that they do. So not only do they say, hey, use our study system, we guarantee that you pass. Otherwise, we'll refund you all the money that you paid with us. Plus, we'll pay you whatever it costs with your organization to retake it. So, for example, with the NSCA for the CSCS, it could be between $250 and almost $500. They also say we will upgrade your account with Trainer Academy to the MVP lifetime access for free. So they're giving you all kinds of stuff if you fail after going through their program. So let's go over some of the features. I'm logged in here. I'll go over some of the stuff on the homepage. They do a lot of cool things to gamify the system. For example, they have study streaks. They have anything that you do anything on the system, whether it's taking practice tests or flashcards or checking off that you did stuff, you can see how these exam confidence points disappear. And when I do stuff on the system, when I learn more, it gives me higher exam confidence to when it gets too close to the green. It says, you are crushing the studying. We think that you're ready to take the exam. I think that's really cool. I like how they gamify this whole thing. I like how there's study streaks. And the biggest thing about the system is they have a lot of features where they try to hone in on what you need to study in particular, what your weak points are, what you need to focus on in order to pass the exam. So for example, the study this section will say, here are your weakest exam areas. Do you want to start working on those right now? And if I click this, it will launch some practice test questions from either all three of my weakest areas, or if I just select my weakest area, chapter 9, that would just load up, 10, 20 questions so that I can start practicing these weakest areas of mine. So the coolest thing about this system is that it really decreases the effort and time needed to get to where you want to go. Basically, your goal is to take the exam and pass it and then become a personal trainer. That's what this program focuses on, reducing that amount of time overall so that you can get to where you want to go, which is passing the exam. So study guide stuff, pretty standard. You have the ability you can highlight stuff. You could take notes here, and then you could go to your highlights and notes and go here. But this is all these textbooks are either between 500 and 700 pages. This really condenses it down to the core stuff, what you really need to know to pass the exam. That's what the point of the study guide is. Let's go over to practice tests. Here's cool because you can split up between domains and chapters. You can say, I want to do tutored mode, which will give you hints and explanations and show you real time how you're doing on the exam. Or I could do a real-timed exam. In the case of ACE, I'll get 150 questions, 3 hours, no feedback, no hints, no explanations, no real-time stuff. But it's a really good way to simulate the real exam, to see what it's going to be like. Tutored mode is where you're going to be spending the majority of your time. You could go to unused. Here are all the ones I have not used yet. You could only do ones that I've gotten incorrect. You could choose ones I've marked. So let me just do a real quick one. So what's cool with Tutor is that you can get hints. Okay, cool. That's a good hint. And then after picking the answer, it will say a good explanation about why it's the correct answer. I could remove this from marked. I can add cards to marked that are not marked. I could add this to my flashcards, which if I add it to the flashcards, it will show up as the front of the flashcard is the question, the back of the flashcard is the correct answer. So it's a really easy way to start remembering more difficult questions. So let me cancel this. No points earned. That's totally fine because I only did one question. At the end of the test, you'll see all of these cool breakdowns. So you can add the flashcards, you could remove from mark or mark them. It will show you the explanations. This is only on tutored mode. Let me close the exam. Flashcards are really cool because they use spaced repetition. So here's the front of the card, here's the back of the card, and I can answer how well I know it. Do I not know it? It will show it to me in 1 minute. Do I kind of know it? It will show it to me in 1 day. Do I know it really well? It will show it to me in 3 days. This is awesome because you won't see all the same cards with the same frequency. You'll see the ones that you don't know very well with a lot more frequency compared to the ones that you already know. So every time you do flashcards, you'll basically be studying the stuff you don't know that you need to focus on. Whereas the stuff that you already know, you won't see with as much frequency because you'll see them in 3 days instead of in 1 minute or instead of in 1 day. So you can judge how well you know something, and the system will tailor to that information and show you only the stuff that you need to study, basically, with more frequency, which is pretty awesome. I just earned some points. Makes me feel good. I'm on a 2-day streak. So yeah, mnemonics cards, let's go over these real fast. These are cool ways to remember difficult topics, basically. So here is the mnemonic. I'll say, let's start practice. Show me the mnemonic. Okay, cool. I have this funny way to remember this. Let's go here and practice it. And I can practice it here. And then I'm like, oh wait, what was it again? Okay, cool. Okay, now I remember. Let's practice it now. Just as a cool way to remember tough topics. Anyways, I think that's a really cool feature, mnemonic cards. Performance, once again, you could break down between how you're doing with tests, flashcards, what areas are your weak areas, what areas are your strong areas. The whole thing is designed to let's give you an understanding about what areas you need to focus on, what areas you're strong in, and to not waste time when you're studying, right? So there's the performance section. Let's go to the profile section. So here you can switch over to dark. You can switch off the sounds. You can switch to dark mode. Just some basic stuff there. Okay, cool. Now, a lot of the features I've talked about have already been part of the pros, but let's go over some of the pros again. The exam pass and the retake fee guarantee. A lot of the specific features designed to individualize your program, like study this, performance section, then the flashcards with spaced repetition, the whole system, the exam confidence to give you a good idea, to gamify studying and to give you a good idea of, okay, cool, I'm ready to take the exam now. Those are all big pros of the system. I think one of the biggest pros is that out of all the systems out there, it's the most efficient system to get you to passing the exam as fast as possible and with as little effort as possible. But let's talk about some of the cons. Con number 1, you need an internet connection. There's no offline mode. For me, I'm usually always connected, but maybe if you live out in a cabin in the woods with no Wi-Fi, you might need to download the study system. Con number 2, there's no physical version besides the cheat sheet, by the way, which is another thing I forgot to mention as a feature. This cheat sheet is really good for studying before the exam. It covers all of the most important topics that you need to know. It's a good thing day before, week before, to make sure you've mastered all those. This is the only thing that you could print out, though. Everything else is not, You can't print out the study guide. You can't print out the practice test. You need to be online. Con number 3 is there's no social element. There's no Facebook groups. There's no webinars. There's no question and answer webinars with professors where you sit through it, wait for your turn, ask a question, listen to a live lecture. There's no community stuff like that. But for me personally, I'm a self learner, and systems like this are really helpful. I don't like sitting through Q&As where I waste an hour of my time listening to stuff I already understand and know just to get to my turn where I can ask a question that's individualized to what I actually need to study and learn. So those are the cons compared to the pros. Let's go over some of the pricing. So we've already gone through the pass guarantee. Let's go over some of the popular ones. We'll go NSCA, CPT, ACE, CSCS, ACSM, ISSA. So not all these are the same price, but depending on what certification you're doing. Let's see, ISSA. So NSCA, CSCA. So there's two different things. There's monthly, $99 a month, lifetime, $500 a month. Let's see if these are all the same price. $99 a month, $99, $99, $99. So yeah, NSCA, NASM, ACE, ACSM, ISSA, they're all $99 a month, and they are all about $400 or $500 for the lifetime. Now, even last week, which is too bad, even last week I saw these on discount for the monthly, which was 20% off or $79. So if I was on the site, I would just talk to these guys, be like, hey, do you know if there's another deal going on anytime soon? I know that I saw it for 20% off last week. I was just wondering if one's coming up, or if you know any information. But still, even at $99 per month, like most people only study for a few months, 2, 3, 4 months maybe. And if you're really locked in, you can say, okay, I'm going to do 1 month of hard studying. I'll get the $99 a month one, really blast through it, and then that could be your total price when you cancel and you pass your exam. Obviously, that's a lot of studying for 1 month, but if you're really motivated, that is totally possible. So those are the pricing. I do think the monthly is worth it. Obviously, only the MVP comes with the exam pass guarantee. A lot of the features that I talked about, the exam confidence, Algo, audio study guide, you could go through all of these yourself. I would recommend just signing up for a free trial for whichever one you want to do. You can test out the majority of the stuff that I showed you on this video. This is the full lifetime for ACE, but you will be able to test out a lot of these on all of the trials, no matter which certification you're doing, whether you're doing any of these. Anyways, in conclusion, it's a very valuable program. Let's go full screen on it. So it's a really good program. It's who is it for and who's it not for? I would say it's for people that study on their own, independent studiers that just need more guidance, that need individualized study tips. I think this is a great program for them because it does the study this section. It tells you, okay, you need to focus on this. You're already really good in chapter 10. You need to focus on chapter 7. You could do that from the performance section. You could do that from the study this section. You could do that from the flashcard section, which is using spaced repetition studying. Basically, it learns what you need to understand, and the system gives you feedback saying, hey, focus on this. Don't focus on that. That will save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and get you to passing the exam as fast as possible, as long as you're okay being an independent studier. If you need tutoring, if you need live webinars, if you need Facebook groups, if that's your thing, then I would say that this probably is not for you. But if you are okay studying on your own and you just want to get to the finish line, which is being certified and working as a trainer, I would say this is the best option for you. A lot of people on PT Pioneer that come and ask me, they say, hey, I'm studying for ACSM, I'm studying for ISSA. I do need a little bit of extra support. What do you recommend? I usually recommend Trainer Academy as long as they fit in. Hey, are you okay? Are you a self-studier? And they say, yeah, of course. And then I'll recommend this. And they usually come back with really, really positive feedback with their experience with Trainer Academy. And that's the experience of I've had. That's the experience of my students. It really just depends on what type of learner you are, I guess. But I hope you got some good value from this. I would recommend signing up for a free trial. Test it out on your own. Nothing to lose. Completely free. And let me know if you have any questions or feedback regarding Trainer Academy. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Peace.